Hey everybody, hope you are off to a good start of your week. Hope you had a good time of worship with your local church families and that was refreshing for you. This week we are getting into the letters of Peter, 1st and 2nd Peter, Jude, which is similar in a lot of ways to 2nd Peter. You'll see if you haven't noticed that already. And also the letters of John, 1st through 3rd John. Our discussion posts, one, you'll be thinking of the use of Isaiah 53 in 1 Peter. As always, be thinking about how that fits in with the literary flow of the letter as we think about literary coherence. And specifically, 1 Peter is about suffering. Even a cursory reading of it makes that evident. And think about how Isaiah 53, why would Peter use Isaiah 53 in light of his message on suffering? It's not just to say that Jesus fulfills Isaiah 53, though it is that. That's something oftentimes students jump to. But think about the role of suffering, and therefore why Isaiah 53, of all passages to prefigure Christ, would be significant for him to quote or refer to. With 1 John, your discussion assignment will deal with the use of truth in John, and this is something that Andrew Lincoln, not the actor from The Walking Dead you might be familiar with, but Andrew Lincoln, a biblical scholar, wrote a book called Truth on Trial, and you might come across that in bibliographies of things that you read, and would be a good book to check out. Andrew Lincoln himself, I think, is moderate, not quite conservative, but a good scholar, even though we would disagree with him on certain things. And one of the things that he notices in his book, Truth on Trial, is that there's this lawsuit motif that goes throughout all of the Gospel of John. He has come for this purpose, he tells Pilate, to testify to the truth. And this language of testimony, of truth, of eyewitness language, that which we have seen with our eyes and felt concerning the word of truth, these things surface in John's epistles as well. It is as if Jesus' coming is like this great trial. The truth has come, and are we going to believe? And so both in John's Gospels and in his letters, this comes up. So in your discussion assignments, I'm looking for you to connect Isaiah 53 to suffering and truth in John. Be thinking of how that could be used in a trial sense and why that might help us to better appreciate what he says about truth in his letter. So best responses will focus on those two areas. You will have your outline assignment. You have your choice of either 1 Peter or 1 John. And be sure to take my comments from your 1 Corinthians or Romans outline into account. I'll be looking to see some improvement over that last one based on the feedback that I gave. Most of you did a very good job with the first one, so hopefully this will be a good chance for you to take another stab at it and exceed your skills at outlining even more. 1 John, very difficult one to outline, so if you attempt that one, then it would be very worthwhile for you to do so. But if you have some trouble outlining, just realize that it's a difficult one to outline. The thought is sort of circular rather than maybe like we would expect Paul to just sort of move from one logical thought to the next to the next. So it's a different way of communicating. Also, this week we have 3 contextualized application assignments as normal, and as usual you can choose any 3 of those. So if you have any questions, be sure to let me know.